Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and Forged Irish Stout. We're here. Spencer Fearon. Spencer, thank you for giving us some of your time, bud. How's things anyway? You looking well?
Mate, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's a really nice hot summer's day. We got fabulously treated
Yes.
yesterday to something amazingly special. So, you know what I mean? I'm really good. I mean, I'm just about to go underneath the gazebo right now, but it's all good. But yeah.
Nah, thank you for giving us some of your time. Look, I think we're in one of them periods now.
So 1 second, Matt. You, my friend, always from way back when you first started off in this, when you was running around for Michelle Joy Phelps. You know what I mean? I will always give you time.
I appreciate it. Honestly, I really do. Because I know you guys have stuff to do other than just speak to me. So it means a lot, bud.
Damn right I do. But,
yeah. So I put on my story earlier, I think we're in a period now where we really need to savor this as boxing fans, as enthusiasts of the sport. We're seeing big fights getting made, promoters coming together. It's lovely to see Eddie and Frank, although they had the back and forth years ago, having that bit of banter with each other regarding the score and putting these fights on. Let's just break down this card. I mean, we'll start from the top. Zhilei Zhang, knockout against Deontay Wilder. Many felt...
I predicted... listen, the only fight on that card I predicted wrongly was Craig Richards versus Willy Hutchinson. That was the only fight that I predicted wrongly. And, you know, them two had a bit of back and forth and all the rest of it. And I'm just going to be real with you, yeah? I like Craig a lot.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know where Craig's head was mentally for that fight. I think he was just happy to be on that stage.
Yeah.
Right? And I think maybe he could have underestimated Willy Hutchinson. But Willy Hutchinson was no joke. He had a very, very good game plan, very, very clever. He would break alignments. Unfortunately, Craig was moving in straight lines. I'm gutted for Craig because I know Craig's family very well. I know there's a bit of a spat between them two prior to the fight. Forgive my daughters because they don't care that Danny's doing interviews. They're just running around the house, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, my heart goes out to Craig on that one because he's not done. It's only his fourth loss of his career, but it's going to be very difficult. I'd like to know how he's going to get steered right now. You know what I mean? But, you know, and also, this is the next thing. This is his second fight with Shane McGuigan. I didn't see no improvements. This is not me having a knock on Shane. He's a good guy and that, good trainer and that, but I didn't see no improvements. You know what I mean? That's the worst Craig Richards that I've seen since, bloody hell, maybe 2015.
Yeah, you're talking a long time. I haven't seen him. I mean, from the bits I saw, looking back at the fight, maybe a little bit indecisive. I think as well, put that down to Willy Hutchinson. Willy Hutchinson's one of these, I feel like he's been around for a long time, still only 25 years of age, took his L sort of in that career when he got stifled a bit, but he seized his moment on the big stage, so we've got to give him his props for that.
Well, he did, and it was, you know what I mean, it was great to see. It was a good fight, and you know what I mean, and fair play to him. I'm gutted for Craig, though. I'm very, very gutted for Craig.
Nick Ball, he's got his world title. What a fight, by the way. Him and Ray was putting it on. Like, what a fight. How pleased are you for Nick, who's obviously people saying he should have been a world champion coming into this fight. A lot of people were saying that.
How did 1 million% he should have been. He got jobbed in his last fight, but it is what it is. But, you know what I mean? That was poetic justice served to him yesterday. How he boxed yesterday. That applied pressure, sticking to what you know, not trying to do too much, right? He was doing, this is what I know. This is how I am. You know what I mean? It's appeasing to the eye as well. And fair play to him because that was one of my great predictions because I had him to win that fight. But also, I thought that he could have driven a late stoppage, but all the credit in the world should be given to Raymond Ford. And maybe Raymond Ford should move up in weight. You know what I mean? Him versus Kakachi would be a wicked fight, you know?
Yes, very good fight. I think he's actually said that already. Look, I'll see you at a new weight or I'm moving up anyway.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I also like guys who are humble in coming second best, right? And he was very humble in it. And, you know what I mean? We know his journey, we know his story. You know what I mean? But, yeah, again, let's take nothing away from Nick Ball. What a fantastic win for him, and I'm so happy for him. Yeah, I mean, I've only met him once. We just said hello, we shook hands. That was it. That was at the 5v5. But I'm really, really happy for him because I kind of like his style. His rough and tumble style. He's WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, and what is written on the tin is totally Nick Ball.
Yeah, fan friendly as well. Like if you're unsure about boxing, you watch a Nick Ball fight. It really is. It really is something to see when he's in full flow. He's brilliant. Hamzah Sheeraz as well. Just another sort of notch on his resume.
Let me tell you this. I said this ages ago, and people weren't listening to me. I even said this after he never looked too good against Bradley Skeet, and I said, you ain't meant to be at that weight. I spent some time with him. I know his dad's actually a really beautiful human being. Hamzah Sheeraz is such a clever fighter. Because let me tell you this now. Ammo Williams is no joke.
Good fighter.
Right? And if you look at Ammo Williams, me and Tundi did our live yesterday while I was doing it, and someone said, he reminds me of Aaron Barkley. And I was saying, he actually reminds me of Davey Moore, but if you know the history there, Davey Moore, former WBA light middleweight champion, right? Davey Moore and Aaron Barkley were actually the best of friends growing up in New York. When I think the gang that they were in were the Spades, like the Black Spades, they were like a serious gang that used to be, right? So when you see that, or when you see his style, Ammo's a really good fighter, you know? And I think like he shouldn't take nothing away from that defeat, but try and come back from it. And I hope that Eddie Hearn don't just push him to the wayside now, right? Because this is the game, and I understand it. I hope he doesn't. And I know Eddie's going to listen to this, because when his name's mentioned, it comes up on his Google chats, right? So I hope that he doesn't throw the kid away, but all the credit and world should be given to Hamzah Sheeraz. What a stellar performance. And it was like, there was times in the fight I was saying, if he starts double jabbing now, and then I don't know if it's people that were clicked onto our live, because like round 5, round 6, he started triple jabbing. Like, such a good fighter, very intelligent guy as well. I mean, that's why I'm looking on that, and I'm saying, you know what, the sky's the limits for him. He's a really good fighter, and someone I'm really privileged to say that I know his family. I can say that as a friend, as a brother to me. You know, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, good. He's a good guy. The good people, Hamzah and his team, and Ammo. And that's what it's about when you get to this level. Anyway, we're getting past this whole protecting records. You know, he's took a defeat, so what? He can come back again. Look at the top of the card, Zhilei Zhang. He's lost, so what? Comes back. You know, it happens. It's what you've got to do in the sport.
Listen, let me tell everybody this, yeah? Let me tell everybody this. When you have somebody who's passionate about boxing, right? I remember Spencer Fearon coming on our podcast, and he was telling us all about Turkey Al Sheikh. He was saying, Turkey Al Sheikh's his name, Spence, and he loves boxing. He absolutely knows the game and blah, 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 blah. I thought, more than me. He said, no, but he knows the game, he loves him. He's going on about this stuff, right? When nobody ever heard of Turkey Al Sheikh. Nobody did, right? To see what Turkey Al Sheikh has done since the time when Spencer Fearon mentioned his name on our show, right? And that was in August or September, to what this gentleman has done since for boxing, for something that I'm so passionate about. When I'm seeing like people being flown out who are my friends, you know, I mean, I've had the pleasure of entering in October, but to see like people being flown out, and to see how everything's going right now is, as far as I'm concerned, just superb.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of the card, someone who's over the years come under slight criticism, but he's on a bit of a roll now. Daniel Dubois getting the victory over Filip Hrgovic. Talked about that fight. He's and a lot of people I think saying Hrgovic for the win in the fight. And
no, well, I didn't. I was going Daniel Dubois hard.
Yeah,
right? I'm going to tell you this, right? So, the link up that Daniel Dubois has got with Don Charles, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to tell you why this thing works, right? I want people to listen to me. Don Charles's dream was to have a heavyweight champion. I've known Don Charles since I've been 12 years old. So it's a little while now, right? So that's nearly, I've known Don Charles for nearly 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And Don Charles would tell everyone, I was instrumental in that link up, right? Because Dubois' dad came to me and said he's looking for a trainer, right? And he's hearing so many names branded around, and then there was another guy, Joby, who's his banker, who said Don Charles, and he went over to Don Charles. The link up is not for the sake of just Don Charles, it's the fact that Don Charles knows the relationship that Daniel has with his dad. So he's not interfering with that, right? Because Daniel only listens to his dad, and you can see his dad sat by the corner, right?
Yeah.
Right? And what we saw was, and that's why this whole thing works. This whole thing works because Don knows, right, I'm your trainer, I'm going to get you fit, I'm going to teach you your drill, and all the rest of it. But when it comes fight night, there's a certain voice that you need to hear. It's not my voice. So he's been humble enough, right, to say it's not my voice that I need to listen to. It's you need to listen to your dad's voice, right? And it works because some of the shots that he took from Hrgovic, Daniel Dubois 2 years ago would have been knocked out, right? So Daniel Dubois is now coming into his own, right? And because he's coming into his own, it's a beautiful thing to see. And I can tell you this now, I guarantee you, Matt, that on the 21st of September at Wembley, it's going to be Anthony Joshua fighting Daniel Dubois for, by the time that comes around, it will be for the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the world. I guarantee it. And it's going to be a roadblock. It's going to be sold out. Reason why? Because the most exciting fight that we saw last night was actually Daniel Dubois versus Filip Hrgovic. And now we're going to have, and Joshua's on a roll right now as well. This is going to be so exciting. It's going to be so big. It's going to be so mega mental. That's what it's going to be. And that's what I'm saying. I'm so grateful to Turki Al-Sheikh because Turki Al-Sheikh is making the things that I think about in my head actually materialize. Like, I like to see that fight. It's like Turki Al-Sheikh says, oh, is it really? I'm going to make that fight. And that's the greatest thing, man.
It's literally like, I've said it before, me and Gareth Davis talks about it. It's literally like Disneyland. Like you wake up and you see these fights. Like how quickly things are happening. Like for instance, Dimitri Bivol, the fight's off, injury, opponent in. We're gonna still have you fighting on this card. Fight's done. Boom. October, we're getting the fight. That's happening.
Right. Even for the kid Zinan who fought Bivol, yeah, because he put in such a gallant performance, and Turki Al-Sheikh said, "Don't worry, we're gonna bring you back to fight." Bro, you in the real world, you tried your best. Later to you.
Yeah.
Right? So Turki Al-Sheikh is doing the things that honorable men do.
Yeah.
Right? And he's actually a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. You can tell his passion for it though. When he talks about
I love it, man. Bro, I'm gonna be real. I love it. I love it being a fan. I love it being involved in the game. I love it. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, you can see it. Look, let's talk Zhang Wilder then. I know we sort of started there, but then went through the card. Looks like, I don't want to say it looks like the end for Deontay Wilder. It does look like the end for Deontay Wilder.
No. Let's be real.
What did you make of
it? It is the end for Deontay Wilder, right? Yeah. But let me just jump onto the defense of Malik Scott, right? Everyone's saying it's Malik Scott's fault because, you know, he tried to change Wilder and and all the rest of it. I'm saying if you're working with a man, your sole objective is to make improvements. Malik Scott was trying to make improvements. People are talking like Malik Scott can't train. The guy can train. And also, he's a very good orator of boxing. Do you know what I mean? He sits down and he studies the histrionics of the sport, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're giving him such a hard time. But the problem is this. I think what we're seeing with Deontay Wilder is a transition within him, right? Mm-hmm. Do you understand? And so within there's a form of divinity inside of Deontay Wilder. Now I will explain to you why, right? When you can transcend perceived limitations, right? Because they're just perceived limitations. Then there is a form of divinity that is only humane to human beings, that's incarnate within us as human beings. Deontay Wilder, you've done that. Look where you've come from. You went into a gym, a year and a half of you being in the gym, you end up in the Olympics, you win a bronze medal, right? You go on from then, you knock out everyone that you face, and you become a WBC heavyweight champion of the world, right? And you make 9 or 10 successive defenses, right? Deontay Wilder, from where you've come from in Alabama to where you are right now today, Deontay Wilder, you have won. I want you to realize that you only started boxing because you wanted to take care of your daughter financially. Deontay Wilder, you have won. I congratulate everything that Deontay Wilder's done. I got to speak to him. Spencer Fearon phones me up and he was with Deontay. He said, hey, have a word. I mean, it goes, oh, I know Spencer. You know Spencer? Yeah, I've got mates, yeah. Right? So I had words with Deontay Wilder. And here was a man that I've seen who's at peace with himself, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Right. And in boxing, when you're at peace with yourself, you have to be careful because you could be left in pieces. And that's what happened. We saw it. We saw it in the fight with Parker, right?
Yep.
And we definitely saw it last night. But I knew that he was gonna, I knew he was gonna lose. That was my prediction. Go on my Instagram page right now. Master_knowledge, you can see my prediction right throughout. And I was telling everybody that he's gonna get knocked out by Zhang. And the reason being is this, right? Deontay Wilder has left pieces of himself with Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury has left pieces of himself with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Right? That is it. And this is the game. And when you see trilogies, people leave pieces of themselves, right? We go right back to October of 75 when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier. That was the most befitting time for Ali and Frazier to say bye-bye to the game.
Yeah.
All right? The major thing is your health. Your health is your wealth, right? And if I was Deontay Wilder, you have had that fantastic, monumental run. There is nothing left for you to prove, right? Just forget about Malik Scott teach you how to double jab and this, that, and all the rest of it. The thing that made you so good was your unpredictability.
Nail on the head.
Right. You were sometimes a bit horrible and ugly to watch, but we know at the end of the day, he's trying to do what he does. Now you're trying to do what you don't do. You're not trying to do it that well because you wasn't brought up with that authenticity of growing up in the boxing gym as a little kid. You didn't grow up with like sitting down and idolizing boxing. No, you're a guy, similarly to what Anthony Joshua was, that found it for, well, I'm all right in this, and you got success from it. The only difference is this here, yeah, is that Anthony Joshua's humbled himself enough to say, I'm going to learn. It's very difficult to learn from someone that you've already knocked out.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be real with you, right? It's very difficult. And then if there was times where you was around guys like Mark Breland and you weren't really listening to them, right? Who was a former world champion, who was a former Olympian, gold medalist, who's rated as one of America's greatest ever amateur boxers, right?
Yep.
Why would you listen to anybody else? I'd like to see Deontay Wilder call it quits. I'd like to see Deontay Wilder retire from boxing right now, simply because I wouldn't want to see Deontay Wilder get hurt, right? And he seems like he's at peace with himself. Be at peace with yourself, man. You've won.
100%. That's the best breakdown, I think, of Deontay Wilder I've heard. It's just nail on the head stuff. For Zhilei Zhang, though, look, he gets himself back. You know what? He's one of my favorite people. You know, when you hear him speaking and he's having a lot of fun. We're seeing this guy's personality as well as him in the ring a lot. He's a funny guy, but he's, you know, for a certain amount of time, he's one of the most dangerous men in the ring. We talk about his gas tank second half of a fight, but the first 5 or 6 rounds, he's a sick dude. Serious.
Let me tell you this, yeah. It's only because Joseph Parker with Andy Lee, who's my guy. I rate Andy Lee. Andy Lee's got a very good boxing brain on him. Reason why? Because Andy Lee came from the tutelage of Emmanuel Stewart, right? Right. So they can sit down and work out game plans. Andy Lee's that guy, right? And not only that, but Andy Lee's got to more of an authoritative figure when he's with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker can pull that off, right? Right. But just because A can beat C doesn't mean that A can beat B, but B can beat C. It's one of those kind of ones. But the nice thing about this, what Turkey Al Sheikh is doing is bringing boxing back to like in the 50s and 60s. Do you know what I mean? when you see guys who are world champions, but they're 13 losses on their record. But can you fight? Can you fight? And can you entertain? And you know what? Our country got the money to go throw it on. And it's all happening. And that's the great thing. And that's the thing that's beautiful.
I think that's the perfect way to end it, Spencer. I appreciate you there, giving us a bit of a breakdown last night. Hopefully we can catch up in the coming weeks with some big fights. I think.
Yeah, mate, most definitely. But remember, I am telling you, right? The fight of the night was Daniel Dubois' fight, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so proud because, like, his dad just phoned me about just before you. That's why I took so long. I was actually I spoke to his dad, David, right? And I'm just saying, I'm so proud of that young man, especially the amount of criticism that he faced and all the rest of it. I'm gonna be real, I was part of it as well. I was sticking him on the daggers, right? But to see how this young man has come back, and I'm telling you this now, September of 2025, 2024, we are going to see Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois for a version of the heavyweight championship, right? And it's going to be a magnanimously barn-burning extravaganza. And trust me, I'm going to be there.
Yep, me too, God willing. Spencer, appreciate your time. We'll catch up soon. Have a great day. Appreciate it.
Yes, man. Take care. God bless, bro.